Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So tonight was, Great Balls of Fire, the first ever Great Balls of Fire, and this show was a pretty big shit show, in my opinion. I mean, I know there's some people that liked the angle after the ambulance match, and there were some people that kind of liked how Joe looked strong in the main event, but in all honesty, Joe went down with one F5. And he got pinned. Like, really? One? Should have been at least two F5s. I mean, motherfucker. But let's see who's here with us in the chat right now. If you are watching live, we've got Samuel M. Jordan I'm going to butcher your last name. Castroena? Benjamin Turner. Ragin' Rick. Dylan Quintana. Teddy Hart. Manny Smith. Dragstep 50, Travis the Dog, Derek Boakes, the second Rollins. We've already got 79 of you guys here in the live chat. That is crazy. I can't even keep up with it at the moment. We've got Blackout. We've got Few Rise With Me. Robert Cathy is here. All right. We will be taking calls here in a moment. I want to see what the chat thinks about Great Balls of Fire before we take some phone calls. I mean, in all honesty, you guys are going to ask, what's my rating going to be for this show? And I guess I'll give it a 5, if I can even give it that. I mean, the main event was what it was. The ambulance match. There was a guy, okay, if you don't listen to Brian Alvarez in Wrestling Observer Live, he had a guy call in and pretty much predict the exact finish to the ambulance match. He goes, well, the odds makers have Braun winning, but Roman's still getting the championship match at SummerSlam, so maybe Roman kind of screws up and goes to spear Braun, and Braun moves, and he lands in the ambulance, and it's exactly what happened. This guy is a psychic. This guy's a fortune teller or something, because he literally, between 3 and 4, called into the show and said, this is what I think is going to happen in the ambulance match, and boom, exactly what happened. This guy, I don't remember his name, where he called from, but that guy's he can see the future. We've got Signature Kevin here with us. Let's see. Some of you guys are giving it 4 out of 10. I saw a 3 out of 10. Whoa. John V says 8.5 out of 10. Wow. Manny Smith said, I'm here from Los Angeles. Where are you guys from? Oh, I'm only 4 hours north of you. I'm from Fresno, Manny. I see you guys are already calling in on the phone lines, going crazy. But I want to give some love to the chat before we take phone calls. Dylan Robson says that he loved this pay-per-view. RRRCCC says Roman will not turn heel anytime soon. No, I'll talk about this now. So Roman Reigns takes that ambulance, drives it out into the garage, stops, and then backs into the tractor trailer. And I know exactly, I don't know, but I think Vince thought of this as a Stone Cold Steve Austin moment. That's something cool that Austin would have done, and then everyone would have thought he was a badass for doing something like that. So we have Roman do something like that, and then everyone's going to cheer Roman because they think he's a badass for what he... It's not going to work. But I bet you guys, that's one thing that Vince was thinking, that he's going to do this with Roman, and then the fans are going to think it was badass and cheer for Roman. But I don't think that would work. I don't think that's going to happen. German Tovar says push Roman. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Daniel Eubanks says, I wonder if WWE would update the stage to include a Titantron. Well, they kind of... Okay, so if you look at the stage, you have the bottom part where the wrestlers come out from. Then you have the screen that's above it that is all it's just long. If you actually look at it, they do use that as a Titantron. They just have it in the middle of that big, long screen. It's essentially 3 screens. It's a right side, a left side, and a middle. So they do use it as a Titantron. And then if you look at the SmackDown one, that is just a big Titantron screen. So they do have a Titantron. It's just the Raw ones. It's small and it's just weird looking. Let's see what you guys are saying. What else you guys are saying before we take these calls? TVP83 says I give 7 out of 10. Nice. Kark X says TVP. How are you? Lane Scherter says, what are your thoughts on Roman Reigns after Great Balls of Fire? Like I said it. I think this was a thing where Vince thought, oh man, let's do something cool with Roman, and the fans are going to be all for him because they're going to think he's cool for driving this ambulance into a tractor trailer. But I don't think that's going to work like that. It's a classic, let's try and do a Stone Cold thing with him. Like, no. I don't think it's going to work. I really don't. The Amazing 1-1 says from Fresno. Nice, I'm from Fresno as well. Super Majestic, I think that's how I would say it. Hold on. I lost her. Why did they have a match during Strowman's injury? I have no clue what that was. I honestly don't know, and the announcers even seemed a little befuddled. They're like, well, I guess we're doing a match. Here comes Kurt Hawkins, and hey, Heath Slater. Like, that made no sense, especially because you're watching the stuff backstage, and then you just hear ding, 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 and the match is over. It's like, I think Heath Slater won that match? I don't even know. So, yeah, Robert Cathy, wow, giving this pay-per-view an 8 out of 10. Being very generous today. It's Spirit Wolf says, who cares about WWE balls? Gino and Rex Andrews made a WWE cameo. Sam the Man TV says, Sasha Banks should have been champion tonight, but watching Raw Talk, Sasha should get her rematch on Raw tomorrow night. That's what I think, too. Because, it's all leading to Alexa versus Nia at SummerSlam. That's what I was hearing as of last week. So I'll have to wait and see exactly if that does come to fruition. But let's start taking calls. We're going to take this call right here. Hopefully this works. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, is this Tim?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, hi, Tim. This is Christopher here.
What did you think of Great Balls of Fire?
Great Balls of Fire was kind of interesting tonight.
How so?
Because, and I have a question to ask you.
Sure.
Do you think we're going to get Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam?
I mean, you can definitely argue for that based off of how the actual match went. But everything that I'm hearing, the plan is to do Roman Reigns challenging Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
So as of now, Roman Reigns will be facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship?
That's been the plan for, I want to say, going back 2 or 3 weeks now.
Wow.
The same the same week that they announced John Cena was coming back as a quote-unquote free agent was the first time I had heard, hey, they're thinking Roman versus Brock SummerSlam. So it's been 3 weeks or so.
And I have another question to ask
Sure.
you. In the Raw Women's Championship, what's going to be going on with those plans heading towards SummerSlam?
Again, like I just said, last I heard, they were looking to do Nia Jax challenging Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam.
Can you also see maybe like a triple threat happening with Alexa, Sasha, and Bayley, or put Nia in that to be a fan of four-way match at SummerSlam?
I don't see Bayley being in there at all. Not at all. But, I mean, they did make Nia look very strong when she went 33 minutes in that gauntlet match. And that was why they did it like that. They wanted her to go out there and look very strong in the gauntlet match, but not win it, so that way she can have the match at SummerSlam on the bigger stage. I don't know what their thinking is, but their thinking is that Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss is a better match than Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks.
Now, what they're going to be doing with the Raw Tag Team Championship match for SummerSlam?
Honestly, I haven't heard anything. The only, like I said, you asked about the Universal title, you asked about the Raw Women's Championship, and really that's all I've heard on the Raw side going forward for SummerSlam. I've heard they could be doing Kurt Angle versus Triple H, but that's still on the table.
What do you think is going to happen tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw?
Well, I think Roman Reigns is... I can probably see either Roman opening the show or Kurt opening the show and calling out Roman Reigns.
Because of what happened tonight with the incident with Braun.
Right.
That was an unbelievable match tonight with Braun and Roman.
Right, because they put so much into that. I can really see that being like the main focus of especially the beginning of tomorrow's show.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Roman Reigns, and I was rooting for Braun Strowman to get the win tonight.
Right. But I mean, Braun had to. If Roman's getting that title at SummerSlam, they had to. You saw Bray Wyatt was victorious. Samoa Joe looked good in his match, and then Braun Strowman was victorious. Those are 3 heels now that can look strong and challenge Roman if he does get that title at SummerSlam.
All right. Well, that's it.
Because you got to think about it. They're not usually it's heel versus babyface. So that's why the heels were meant to win or look very good tonight.
It was an unbelievable pay-per-view, but the one thing I'm complaining about is why they put the Cruiserweight Championship on the kickoff show instead of the main pay-per-view.
They didn't have the time. If you looked at it, the show went 5-6 minutes over the hour already. They just didn't have the time, and they wanted, because originally the Enzo and Cass match was supposed to be on, as of yesterday, was supposed to be on the pre-show as well, but then last minute they moved it back to the main show. But I mean, also, they don't care about the Cruiserweight title match. Like, it was the pre-show match at WrestleMania, and it didn't even get on the WrestleMania DVD.
I understand about that. So, do you also maybe see the Cruiserweight title match being on the main card for SummerSlam or maybe the pre-show?
It depends on what other matches are on the card for SummerSlam. We know SummerSlam's going to be a 4-hour show most likely, just like WrestleMania was. So that gives it the opportunity to be on the main card. But at the same time, we don't know what other matches are going to be there. I could assume they may do Goldust and R-Truth, put that on the pre-show, and they would probably need like a SmackDown pre-show match as well. Usually at Mania and SummerSlam, when they do the longer shows, there's 2 or 3 pre-show matches.
I understand about that, and I'm also a huge fan of your YouTube and your Instagram, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. I watch your videos all the time.
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate that.
Well, it was nice talking to you tonight.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Excuse me. All right, so yeah, I mean, there's some things that we can see already building towards SummerSlam, like the Raw stuff, like for Raw, because this was a Raw pay-per-view. With like the Raw Women's title, you know they're building Nia strong. With the Universal title right now, the plan is, I mean, there's a lot of contradicting stories, but the most concrete thing I have heard is Roman challenging Brock Lesnar. So we'll have to see exactly where that all goes. Tomorrow is Monday Night Raw, but let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, good, and you?
Pretty good.
First, I just want to start with that Roman Reigns ambulance crash. That was like some Attitude Era stuff right there.
Oh yeah, I'm really like I said, I think they were trying to give him a Stone Cold Steve Austin moment.
Yeah, that's been like the last time I think since Hogan did that to The Rock. That was the last time they did something. No, wait, never mind. Kane with Kane and Shane.
That's exactly what I was about to say, because that's what as soon as it happened, I tweeted that out. I said this reminded me exactly of when Kane was in the limo. Shane put the brick on the gas pedal, and it went straight into the trailer.
Yeah.
So
that's what reminded me too. When I thought like, oh yeah, Kane. And
hey, you got to give props to Roman for lining that ambulance up perfectly to hit the trailer, though.
Yeah.
Because he drove in there like crazy.
Some people said that it wasn't Roman driving it.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking, too. It could have been pre-taped and that they set it all up to make it look like it was Roman. But I don't know that for sure. But it did look like it could have been pre-taped.
Yeah. I was wondering, how did Matt Hardy get open?
I honestly don't know. They did the whole stuff in the ring. He what was it? Knocked down. He took down Sheamus. I think it was Sheamus. Jeff went for that swanton, and then Cesaro jumped in, right? And all of a sudden, Matt was outside, busted open. Like, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised they didn't change
the spot.
I'm surprised they didn't change the map, because when, I think it was the match between Miz and Dean Ambrose, so the blood was still there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just that it wasn't a lot. I mean, I've seen them change the mat for barely any blood, so I don't know. I was thinking the same thing.
So you think, somehow they're teaching them to be broken, or not yet?
I mean,
with that,
here's the issue. Matt Hardy thinks he's got, the rights. He thinks it's coming anytime now. But then the other side, Impact and them, they don't think it's a done deal yet. They think there's still a lot of negotiating left to go. So both sides are like on the fence of like, one side thinks, oh, we've got this. The other side thinks, no, you don't have it yet. So it's very interesting. And that's why I really haven't said much recently, because you don't know what to believe right now. One side thinks one thing and one side thinks the other thing.
And I was going to say, Samoa Joe looked good in the match. You think they might give him another chance, or what's the plan?
Well, the thing was,
with Joe,
building up to this match, Joe became a big star. Like, he got a lot on Brock Lesnar. He almost, they did all the build-up on Raw, and they saw that. So what the thing was is, yes, Brock Lesnar has to win tonight. Brock Lesnar had to retain that title to go on to SummerSlam, but you have Samoa Joe look so dominant that he can go pay-per-view right after SummerSlam or 2 pay-per-views after SummerSlam and say, hey, I almost beat Brock Lesnar. I want another shot no matter who the champion is. So it makes him still look like he can be a legit contender to challenge for the title down the road.
I was wondering, after they took Braun out of the ambulance and everything, I was wondering, do you think they're going to make the Roman and Braun feud like a long year or something like that? Because I doubt it. He's not going to end it like that.
Oh, no. I think maybe they split them apart just for maybe a month or two, SummerSlam-wise. You got Roman challenging for the title, and then maybe right after, Roman gets the championship, Braun comes back for him again. Because if you think about it, they did all this stuff before WrestleMania with Braun and Roman. Then Roman did his stuff with Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then boom, Roman and Braun again. So you let Roman do something different at SummerSlam, and then you start this back up again after SummerSlam. It could go that way. They can drag this out forever, and the fans like it. So I don't see them stopping it anytime soon if it's something the fans actually like.
I heard something else too when Roman got out I don't know if it was what I heard, but I think they were saying thank you, Roman, or what were they saying? The crowd after he crashed the ambulance.
Oh, I don't know. I heard them chanting, but I couldn't really make out because the announcers were yelling so much. I couldn't really make it out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Yeah.
Well, that's everything I got to say.
Right. Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. I do have to give a shout out real fast to Supreme Breebree, who gave us 2 super chat donations. A $2 one saying you are one legit wrestling YouTuber, and a second one for $3.16 saying you are now one of my fave YouTubers. Thank you for that, Supreme Breebree. We'll take some more calls here in a minute. Let's check out what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll kind of run down the show real fast. But let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Dylan Robson says, is SummerSlam a double-brand show? Yes, it is a co-branded show between both Raw and SmackDown Live. Let's see, what else are they saying? Dylan Robson also says, the pay-per-view went perfectly well time-wise. They need something for the kickoff. Yeah. Let's see. Daniel Eubanks is saying they should do an updated stage for SummerSlam. Excuse me. Maybe something like the 2003 stage. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? Daniel316 says, I'm guessing they are turning Roman heel and Strowman face. No, I don't think that's the case at all. Roman, they probably think this is like I said earlier, I'll just condense it. They think the fans are going to cheer Roman now because he looked cool and badass. They gave him a quote-unquote stone cold moment, and Braun's just going to want to kill everybody. And because, if you heard, it was kind of hard to hear, but when they were trying to, help Braun out of the ambulance, and he was stumbling away, and he finally started walking off, he was just like, leave me alone. So they're still making him that monster. He's not turning babyface, even though He's pretty much the babyface in this story, and Roman's the heel. Sam the Man TV says, at SummerSlam, it will be glorious. WWE Toy Collector said Roman is challenging Brock at SummerSlam and winning the Universal title and fighting John Cena at WrestleMania. That is the plan we have heard. And things can change. I mean, things changed with the whole Brock Strowman. So Roman Cena can change too. Karen Belgrave says, did Sasha turn heel today? I mean, she kind of looked heel when she just was like, fuck it, and went after Alexa after the match. But I don't think it's an actual heel turn. Travis the Dog, what do you think of Big Cash? Who do you think Big Cash should feud with? Honestly, I mean, you got Big Show. Feud him with the Big Show. Some of you saying it won't let you call. You just got to keep calling. It's going to ring and ring and ring, and then once you hear something, pick up, then you're next up. So, Blackout says, did you like my reasoning? Oh, what you said in the video yesterday about DC is a good area. They should do big pay-per-views there. I mean, I understand that, but I don't know. When's the last time they did a big show in Washington, D.C.? That's the question right there. The show must be over soon. She never comes. Robert Caddy says, Miss Price here. Show must be over soon because she never comes to the end. Oh, Lord. I'm going to go as long as you guys want me tonight since I don't do these as regularly as I used to. Let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Going once. Going twice. No. Let's take this call then. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what do you think of Big Cass's new theme song?
Honestly, I just think it was something that they had in their archives, and they were just like, oh, it sounds like something the big guy can have. It's really, I really didn't think much of it. What did you think of it?
It sounded like something from a Transformers movie. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Man.
Okay, I can see that.
What do you think he's playing for SummerSlam is?
I mean, I don't know. If I was gonna book it, maybe you have Big Show challenge him and be like, hey, you know, that's not fair. You taking out this little guy. You're so much bigger than him. And then Big Show comes to Enzo's 8 or something. Maybe they do Enzo Big Cass. Or not Enzo Big Cass, but Big Show Big Cass.
So you don't think Enzo's going to get a rematch?
Honestly, I mean, they could do it, but I don't see the use of it. I mean, we saw what happened tonight. Enzo just got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to see that exact same match again at SummerSlam?
No, I don't. It was a terrible match.
So, I mean, like I said, you can do Big Show, have Enzo out there with the Big Show. Enzo can still do his entrance and all that with the Big Show and say that he's 7 foot tall and all that, but I don't think they're going to do Enzo versus Big Cass again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is Enzo going to 205 Live?
I haven't heard it. Actually, I'm going to Google real fast. Is Enzo even in the weight limit? Because a lot of people keep saying, oh, Enzo should go to 205 Live, but no one is even... I'm going to check what his weight is real fast. Honestly, I haven't heard anything, though. Yeah, well, Enzo is 200, so he would fit in the weight limit. I mean, they could send him down there. That's what Chris Jericho suggested. Hello? All right, we lost him. All right, let's run down this card real fast. So the kickoff show started with, well, only had one match. It was supposed to have 2 matches, and they moved Enzo and Cass up. It was a Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Akira Tozawa. The crowd was a little into it, more than a usual Cruiserweight match. Tozawa did 2 topes early, also hit the senton off the top rope. Neville rolled out of the ring. Finish saw Neville crotch Tozawa on the top rope, then kick the top rope to crotch him yet again, and then Neville just did a spin kick to the gut and pinned him. That was it. Main card then started off with Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. It was a very basic match. Bray Wyatt won with a finger in the eye spot and the Sister Abigail while the referee was distracted. It was a slow-paced match. It was a very Bray Wyatt style match. There was a nice comeback during the match by Seth Rollins, but it just led to nowhere. And it was a, normal Bray Wyatt match, to be honest. Charlie Caruso then interviewed the Hardys. Matt Hardy said that tonight would be delightful. Then he winked at the audience. Jeff talked about this being the first ever Iron Man tag team match. They were in the first tag table match. They were in the first tag ladder match, first TLC match, and they're just full of firsts. They said that there have been 60-minute tag team Iron Man matches in the past, so I'm not sure how great this... Okay. Let's see. Rising Extreme has a question. How do we know if we're next in line for calls? Just keep calling, and it's going to ring, and it's going to ring. And then once you hear me start talking, that means you're next. If it just keeps ringing, hang up, try again. We then had Enzo and Cass, talked about this. Very one-sided squash match. Enzo came out, did his whole thing, got choked up during his little speech. Cass came out with some new music that I guess sounded whatever. Excuse me. I wasn't really thinking, is this cool music or not? I could care less, really. Very one-sided, but Cass used a running boot at the end and pinned Enzo. We then had the Raw Tag Team Championship match, 30-minute Iron Man match. Sheamus and Cesaro got a very, very quick first fall with a bro kick on Matt Hardy. At the 29:30, Jeff hit a swanton on Sheamus, but Cesaro got the tag. Pinned Jeff, and Cesaro ran away for the last 30 seconds. Oh, okay. My notes are kind of scrambled here. All right. So the first fall was in like the first 15, 20 seconds. And Sheamus just kicked Matt in the face. The bro kick pinned him. Then they had the second fall. My notes are not. Okay. Pretty much it came down to the end where it looked like the Hardys were going to tie it all up, and then we were going to be like, what the hell's going on? Matt knocked down Sheamus. Jeff hit a swanton. Jeff was going to go pin Sheamus, but Cesaro ran in, rolled up Jeff, and they won it. It was an okay match. Whatever. Like, what am I going to say about this match? It was a 30-minute Iron Man match. Matt Hardy got busted open. Nobody knows how. Because, Matt just all of a sudden appeared and half of the right side of his face was covered in blood. He was busted open right on his right eyebrow. So, we'll have to see. Stream broken. Elliot Alderson. No, I don't think so. If you guys are hearing something weird or something, let me know. Someone in the chat said that the stream seems a little messed up. I don't know. I don't know. Could hear it's ringing. Huh. We'll roll on. We then had the Raw Women title match. Bliss took the count-out loss, and I posted a report pretty much during the Enzo Cass match, I think it was, that the odds had shifted in favor of Sasha Banks. And I was like, but don't worry, Alexa ain't losing this title. I thought it was going to be DQ. I did not expect at all, for it to be the count-out, because think back to Money in the Bank, the last pay-per-view WWE did, the Usos got themselves counted out to retain their title. So I was like, there's no way they're going to do this again. I'm not even going to bring it up. And then they did it again. So I have no clue. Oh, when you're calling, you hear just hang up, try again. If you hear a beat, that means it's just, you didn't make it through, and just try again. If that's what you're talking about as far as hearing the noise. Yeah, you just got to try again. I'm going to take calls again here in a couple minutes. So, Alexa pretty much got herself counted out. It was an okay match. It was going pretty well. And then Alexa was just like, screw it, I'm walking off. And she got attacked from behind up the ramp by Sasha. Sasha threw her into the set. Then they went over and fought at the announce table. It looked like Alexa was going to DDT her on the announce table, and Sasha then knocked her off the announce table and did those double knees. Sasha's going to need knee surgery one day, I tell you what. Damn, doing that double knee spot, I really, really think Sasha's going to need knee surgery one day. She did that knee spot right on the concrete. It's not like back in the day when you do a spot to the outside and your opponent catches you. No, these women just take the bump and go for it. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, she going to end up like Kevin Nash, 32 knee surgeries. We then had the IC title match, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Miz retained after Ambrose hit a tope and then flipped Curtis Axel into the ring, leading to Bo Dallas hitting Ambrose with a foreign object and Miz hitting the skull-crushing finale for the victory. Just before the finish, though, Ambrose did hit the Dirty Deeds, and Maurice put Miz's foot on the ropes. This was like every other Miz versus Dean Ambrose match. Literally, the only difference was you had the Miz-tourage outside, and yeah. So, it was an alright match. I mean, it was nothing, like I said, no better than any other Dean Ambrose-Miz match, and I really hope they just go away from this now. Both men need to do something different. We've seen this since, what, last year on SmackDown? Well, when did this start? December, January, something around there? They had the ambulance match. Strowman won, as we talked about earlier, when Roman Reigns went for a spear. Strowman moved, and then boom. Yeah. Roman pretty much launched himself into the daggum ambulance. Braun closed it, and then Roman jumped right out. Beat the heck out of Braun, and yeah, we talked about it. He did the whole thing with the ambulance into the tractor trailer. Kurt Angle came out, which shocked me, because I don't remember the last time we actually saw a general manager at the pay-per-view. I do not remember that. It's been a while since the GM was actually at the pay-per-view. We then had the main event, Universal title match. Talked about this as well. They stalled for time when Joe came out. They stalled for time. Brock then came out, and Joe just went nuts. Took out Brock, knocked him out of the ring, put him through an announce table. Brock played it off like he could barely get in the ring, and then Brock got in and goes, I'm good, and Joe just attacked him. The whole thing was, I don't know, like the announcers played this up too. They were just, Joe kept trying to put in that coquina clutch, and they said it. Brock is just so big that Joe can't fully lock it in. He can't wrap the legs. He can't fully get his arm around Brock, and he's got Brock beat, but he just can't cinch it in at the very end. And they played that up. Joe looked really good, and the only negative I do have of that match is that Joe went down with one F5. There was, what, 5 Germans and 1 F5? Like, that's it? Should have been at least 2 F5s, but hey, the whole thing was to make Joe look strong, and Joe looked very strong. Let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's
Hello.
going on?
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good. What did you think of Great Balls of Fire?
I actually did not see the whole entire thing because I was at work.
Okay.
But I had a question for you.
Sure.
What do you think they're doing with Dean?
With Dean
Because he's
Ambrose?
looking like, he's looking like a not a heel, but it's like he's there. Like, I remember when he was on SmackDown, he had opportunities and stuff, and now he's on Raw. It's like he's just there, and he's been having the same fight over and over again with The Miz.
Yeah,
kind of boring.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, where does he go from here? Elias Sampson? Like, that's the only other heel. I mean, unless he does something with Bray Wyatt again, which we saw, what was that, 3 years ago when he feuded with Bray Wyatt for like 4 months?
Yeah, but even that gets boring after a while. I mean, Elias Sampson, that's a mid-card. I mean, he's been on NXT for a minute, and it's like Dean Ambrose has been on the main event for like so long, like he's dropping them.
Right.
So I mean, it's like, what are they going to do with him?
Because it looks like Elias Sampson they teased him feuding with Dean Ambrose at one point, and now they're teasing that he's going to feud with Finn Balor. So, I mean, they like Elias Sampson. I know that. So maybe that's
another thing too with Finn Balor. It's like once he messed up his shoulder, he came back, and it's like, okay, you're just gonna stay in the middle, and he has such potential to be a whole lot more.
I think it's just the fact of they had all these plans in place, and because he was gone for so long, and they had to just throw him back in, he didn't fit in everywhere, and so they have to try and slowly fit him back into the plans.
You think?
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
I mean, he had a good roundup with Seth. I mean, Seth had a bad injury. He came back with like skyrocketed to the top, and it's like, okay, Finn Balor. It's like, okay, I'm back, and
but it could also be the fact of maybe they're thinking, he was only on the main roster before for a month, and we don't know how the fans would receive him on the main roster, so we want to slowly do this push instead of like last time throwing him out there as like the guy. So maybe that could be the thing that, he didn't get an actual chance to prove himself last time, so they're going to slowly do it this time.
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't catch the whole Raw thing because I was at work, but I was getting tidbits, and I wasn't that impressed. It kind of all looked the same, like all pretty much predicted. The only thing I was a little disappointed what I saw was Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Like when you watch them Raw, it looked like they were really pushing Samoa Joe to win, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you got this part-timer that still kept the belt. I think that kind of sucks again for Raw, in my opinion.
Well, the plan right now is for, if they don't change it, Brock Lesnar to drop that title at SummerSlam to Roman Reigns.
But then what about Braun Strowman? I guess where will he stand at?
They can do Braun Strowman Samoa Joe at SummerSlam as a #1 contender match because Braun did win the match tonight. Joe looked very strong against Brock Lesnar, so both of them can say, you know what, I want a shot at the title, and then Kurt Angle can book a #1 contender match.
That could be a good. That's if they will go that route, though. It looks like every time Raw goes that route, it goes a different direction.
Right, because I mean, right now they're doing good with these big guy matches. You got Joe Brock that everybody was interested in, Roman Braun that everybody's interested in. So just mix them up. Do Braun and Joe.
That's true.
Those are the four guys. That, if you look at Raw, those are the four guys that are the most that the fans are interested in the most.
I hope they just will go that route.
Right.
Because it looks like every time it goes in one direction, you think it's about, it's about to build up, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, we're about to change it, and it's going to go this way, and it becomes boring.
Right. And
that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Right, and that's because Vince likes to change his mind at the last minute about a lot of things.
That shows he still runs the show.
Exactly. I mean, he's 71 years old and still going strong.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep you too long. I just want to get your input on what you think they're doing with Dean, because I'm just really tired of seeing the Dean Miz thing. I'm tired of it. Either just give him the belt or give him someone else to fight. It's getting played now.
Like I said, I could see maybe Elias Sampson or Bray Wyatt.
Well, we'll see. We shall see at SummerSlam, right?
I mean, they might start teasing it tomorrow.
To be continued.
All right, we'll see. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, the Dean Ambrose situation is very tricky because it's like, where does he go from here? You look at he's a babyface, so you look at the heel side, got Elias Sampson, but he's kind of in a program with Finn Balor, apparently. And so you've got Bray Wyatt. They move Bray Wyatt off from Seth Rollins. Maybe Seth challenges for the IC title. I don't know exactly where you plug and play all these guys, but a lot of people aren't as interested in Dean Ambrose right now as they were 6-7 months ago as well. So that's the other thing you have to think of. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
What's up?
It's Timothy. You might know me, TVP 83.
Okay, what did you think of Great Balls of Fire?
I thought it was actually a pretty good show. I mean, the hype was pretty good. I thought the Roman match was really good. I did not expect the aftermath was going to happen.
Oh yeah, nobody did. I don't think anybody expected that.
I don't think, nobody expected that. And then, obviously, the match of the night was definitely Strowman and, not Strowman, Brock and Joe.
Oh, yeah, that match was great.
Yeah, it was actually, I would say that was probably, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, but like I said earlier, the match, Joe Brock, like you said, match of the night for sure. Only, like I said earlier, only downside is that they had Joe get get beat with one F5. They should have done at least 2 F5s because we've seen guys like Seth Rollins couldn't even go down until multiple F5s from Brock Lesnar. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish the ending could have been more good because but just that one F5. But it was so great match. It was probably maybe one of the best matches of the year so far.
Oh, probably. I know it was the most anticipated WWE match probably of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the build was really good. I thought they did a great job with that. And now we got to look for SummerSlam, which right now it's still Roman versus Brock.
That's the last I heard since 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard it change.
Yeah, we were texting about that.
Right.
And my only question, my only part I think is in my back of my mind is just if Kurt is going to take away Roman's chance since he did what he did tonight at Great Balls Fire. That's my only concern.
I don't really know where they're going to go with this because the fact of, Roman did this to Braun. It's pretty much he tried to kill the guy, I guess you can say. That's what people are already saying on Twitter. They're saying that Roman got upset that he lost because he screwed up himself, and so he tried to kill the guy.
Right.
And Kurt just let him walk off. Like, Kurt looked at him and goes, "What was that?" And then Roman just blew him off.
Yeah, I mean, as you said before, I don't know if it was going to be, it was pre-taped because it didn't really look like it was pre-taped to me. I'm not sure what they were doing. So, I mean, it was really questionable, like, now what they're going to do with Roman and Braun now. I'm not sure if the rivalry is over now or if it's still going to go on.
Like I said earlier, they could just do what they did earlier in the year. They have the feud. They have Roman do something else because it's a big show, and then they start it back up a month or two later.
Yeah, but now, it's always got to be, like, creative changes now because now we don't know what's going to be happening now for SummerSlam. I mean, either it's going to be Strowman, Lesnar, or Brock and Roman because we don't know what's going on up in here because you got news. This one say Brock versus Roman, and you got the other one saying still Strowman, Brock. I don't know who I'm going to trust. I mean, I obviously trust you because, you got great videos, news. I like your videos. It's really good. And, we just got to wait and find out because, this is going to be one interesting build to SummerSlam. I'm really this is going to be really exciting.
At least on the Raw side.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with
SmackDown side. We gotta wait till Battleground and see where they go from there. Because like I said previously before, last I heard for their big match was John Cena and Jinder. With Jinder going over Cena possibly.
Yeah, I mean, that because we were. And then there's been some reports saying that, Cena's going to win, and then Corbin possibly cashing in. We don't. It's just still. We're just going to have to find out and see because I think the Raw side's going to be way bigger build to SummerSlam than SmackDown.
And we can predict all we want, but because WWE changes things so much, this
is going to be good. I mean, I think this is hopefully going to be one of the best pay-per-views of the year, hopefully, because WrestleMania was good. I mean, it wasn't the best. But I think they're going to be building up SummerSlam so big, I think, hopefully, this will be the best pay-per-view of the year, hopefully.
For sure, hopefully. Yeah. SummerSlams are usually pretty good shows.
Yeah. Well, back to you were saying about one of the other videos, like, the bidding for places.
Right.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think SummerSlam should be like a bigger venue.
Exactly.
I mean, since it's like from like all the 4 major pay-per-views of the year: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. Yeah, WrestleMania is like number 1. SummerSlam's definitely got to be like second most
because
pay-per-view.
We saw with Royal Rumble they put it in that Alamo Dome, which is a huge building.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So hopefully once they're done with Brooklyn, they can go somewhere bigger. I know they've been talking about going back to LA, but that's only maybe 20,000 in the Staples Center.
Yeah, I mean that's my question. It's just, SummerSlam. It's just like one place, and then maybe like a few more years they'll go to a new place. It's just not like every year they move to a new place, which I think maybe they should, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
But,
I guess that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right.
It's really good talking to you. It was hopefully keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully.
all right. Thanks for the call. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, we'll take some more calls in a second, but I got to get my shameless plugs, and I haven't done it yet. If you guys want to help support the channel here on YouTube, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can do so for free by going to our Gawk Box, gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited. It is best to do that on a tablet or a mobile device. You just go to their website, interact with their website, download an app, watch a 15, 30-second video clip, and then they tip me. Doesn't cost you anything, just takes a couple minutes of your time. Also, if you are here live, you can always hit us up with a super chat donation, as Supreme Brie has done multiple times here tonight. I appreciate that. You can also go to our TeePublic store, where you can get any of our t-shirts, and any of our t-shirt designs can also be ordered as a sticker, coffee mug, cell phone case, options, very many options there at our TeePublic store. And there's also our GoFundMe, gofundme.com/helpupgradepwu. The link is in the description for all of the ways you can help support Pro Wrestling Unlimited. I am also looking into possibly setting up a Patreon, but I'm still working on exactly what I want to offer through that. But with that, let's take another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Oh, hey, is this Pro Wrestling Unlimited?
Yeah, it is. What'd you think of Great Balls of Fire?
Oh, I thought it was a pretty good show. You?
I mean, it had its ups and downs. It had some good moments, and then it had its flat moments, like most WWE shows. I wouldn't call it great, but I wouldn't call it bad.
Yeah, same here. What was your favorite match or angle of the show tonight?
Oh, for sure, the main event, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe.
Oh, okay. How about your least favorite?
Least favorite would probably be, like, I almost would say Enzo and Cass, but I liked Enzo's promo, so I guess the Cruiserweight title match.
Yeah, it's really a dumb decision of putting on the kickoff show, to be honest, because if you want to make the Cruiserweight division a lot better, you got to put it on the main show.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, the Cruiserweight title match was also on the pre-show for WrestleMania, and with that, they didn't even put it on the 3-disc DVD.
Yeah, that's a little messed up, in my opinion. They really need to make that division relevant. A lot of people don't care about it.
Exactly.
Sadly, I don't care about it either.
Yeah, I mean, it comes on after SmackDown. If you're on the East Coast, you're like, I don't want to watch wrestling this late anymore. I already watched 3 hours the night before. And then if you're there in the building live, it's like, we already saw 2.5 hours of wrestling. And these guys are guys that we know they don't care much about, so why should the fans care about them, you know?
Yeah,
when
I'm
given,
on the East Coast. So.
Right, and when they're given 2-minute matches or 2-minute segments on Raw, why would you care about them, especially when you're there live on a Tuesday night?
Exactly. Like, I don't know why I should care about it, but, yeah, I just feel like they need to make it better in some way. Maybe let Triple H run it. I mean, we saw how the Cruiserweight Classic turned out.
Right, but that was tournament-style stuff. They're not going to do 205 Live as a tournament-style show every week.
Yeah, I guess I see where you're going from here. Don't really know what else to talk about.
What was your favorite segment of the show? I'll ask you that.
I liked when Roman Reigns did the ambulance thing. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. Like, I'm kind of like on everybody else, where like, oh, I don't really like him. Like, I don't want to be shoved down my throat. But I thought that was pretty cool. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, is that even work?
Right. I get that for sure.
So yeah, that was my favorite part.
All right.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
You too.
All right. Take some more calls here in a minute. Let's check the chat. First Me Daddy says, did Joe win? No, but Joe did look very strong. Robert Cathy says, Southern swag. That's what it is. Okay. You had it in abundance. Well, let's see. Robert Cathy talking to Miss Price here in the chat. Elliot Anderson says, Lesnar versus Joe was a lit down a little bit. But like I said, we're nitpicking it. And it's just the finish. The match itself was really good, the whole thing. And then the finish was a little bit of a letdown because Joe did go down with only one F5. Like, give him at least two. Like, have him kick out. Both men get to their feet. He goes with the Kikina clutch again. Brock kind of wiggles and jiggles and wriggles out, hits another F5, and then Joe goes down. But, I mean, because Corey Graves even said it. Oh, it only took one F5 to take down Samoa Joe after all of that. Like, you're trying to bury the guy? You're trying to make him look good. And then you make that comment. Like, Jesus Christ. Let's see what else. Jake Slyazis. I think I said that right. Balor versus Miz at SummerSlam. You could do that. That could be good. Sam the Man TV says Dean will be a mid-carder again. For sure. For sure. Top 5 list CCC says, do you think we will have a triple threat at SummerSlam with Brock, Roman, and Strowman? I mean, there's a possibility. I haven't heard that, but after tonight, I could see where you would think that after tonight, because you have Roman go out and be like, I don't care that I lost or this and that. I still want the title. And then Strowman come out and go, well, I beat you. And then Roman be like, well, I whipped your ass afterwards. So, I mean, there's ways to set that triple threat up. I mean, there's ways to set it up as a fatal four-way. Put Joe in there, four-way for the Universal title. But we'll have to see. Let's take this call. Let's take the call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What'd you think of Great Balls of Fire?
In my opinion, it wasn't as good as I thought, but it is all right for my liking.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't.
Go for it.
So go ahead.
Oh no,
I just had a question.
Go for it.
Is Roman Reigns definitely fighting Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam?
I mean, that's the last I heard on exactly, like, the last thing I heard as far as Brock's plans for SummerSlam as of 3 weeks ago was Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the thing. There's reports saying that, oh, the writers never pitched that, or that was never talked about. But it's not anything like that. What it is, it's the whole point of Vince had Joe or Brock Roman for Mania. And then he changed his mind and said, let's do it at SummerSlam. So it was all a Vince thing. So all these reports saying that nobody pitched it because it was all a Vince thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Rest in peace, Andre the Giant.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What'd you think of Great Balls of Fire?
Bro, I think the Joe and Lesnar match was a little short for me. But, I got the done. Joe looked strong in the loss, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The angle with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman has me intrigued.
Oh, it does for sure. Me too.
Is this a double turn?
I don't think so. Like I said earlier, I think it's a way to... You still have Braun look strong, like no one can keep him down. And then they think, oh, well, Roman does something that the fans may think was cool, and now they're going to cheer him. Like I've been saying, I think it's like a quote-unquote Steve Austin moment. He does something so cool that the fans just can't help but cheer it.
Right, and I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking. Are you thinking that Roman and Strowman looks to be the rematch at SummerSlam?
I can see where you can think that, but like everything we're hearing, it's going to be Roman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but I understand that's probably going, but
wouldn't it make more sense for Strowman just beat the number 1 contender in the end of this match?
But at the same time, you can be like, well, he, quote-unquote, technically didn't beat Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns beat himself with that spear. And then you say, you know, Roman got the better end of it afterwards anyways with the whole putting Braun in the ambulance and then running the ambulance into the trailer, so...
Right, they're obviously making Roman Reigns look strong for a reason.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's looking like Lesnar, but, you know, there could be a case where you can turn this into a 4-way with Joe and Strowman, too.
Exactly. That's what I was saying with the last caller.
And you can still have Roman win. You can have Roman get, like, some sort of redemption in the end by having him finally pin Strowman to win the title.
Right.
And then you can always do the rematch with Brock at WrestleMania because, you know, Lesnar's argument is you never pinned me.
Exactly. But, I mean, it's just like when Lesnar lost the title last time. Seth Rollins pinned Roman Reigns.
Right, but this time you can do the finish to it.
Right,
you can end it like... And if that's it for Lesnar, if he's going to ride into the sunset, who knows? But
exactly.
Man, it's interesting. Matt Hardy looks to be kind of breaking, bro.
I mean, I see where you can say that. Like he did say delightful in his promo backstage.
Yeah, but I really am not sure whether one day they're really close, the next day they're not close. And here's the thing, man. Sportskeeda is not reliable.
Oh, no. No.
Everybody, and then this dude, they make videos, breaking news alerts, and stuff like that. And made up.
Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet has called them out, I think, more than once on Twitter, saying that they put out fake news.
Right, and then now because of the Strowman thing, they're gonna brag about it. Bro, Strowman was a favorite in odds since last week.
Yeah, Strowman's been the favorite since at least Thursday.
Right, now they're gonna claim they were right about this exclusive.
I know exactly what video you're talking about. Their whole thing was their thing was
yeah,
their thing was that Strowman's still gonna get the match at SummerSlam. So we have to see where that goes.
Dude, Meltzer clearly on the latest radio episode said they're going Reigns Lesnar.
Oh yeah, and that's the last episode too.
Obviously, it's probably Reigns and Cena at WrestleMania.
Right, and like I said earlier when someone brought this up, think about when they announced John Cena as a free agent, and then when did they have the whole thing about Roman Reigns wanted the title match at SummerSlam? Same week. It was all agreed. It was the idea to move the match to SummerSlam was that same week. So I don't know this for sure, but I'm just saying it had to have been that Vince came up with the idea of Roman Cena Mania, and let's move Roman Brock up to SummerSlam.
Right, because
plus why would at the same time?
Right, you want to have your belt on Raw, you know?
You're right. That's the other thing.
And here's another thing that doesn't make sense. The Hardys thing makes no sense to me, given the fact don't you think if they want to go all out, the Revival and the Hardys is better for the tag team strat?
I mean, I see it. I see where you're going from, but the Revival ended up getting hurt. You know, was it Wilder ended up fracturing his jaw, and they had to go a different route, if that was ever even the case. And so now they were kind of just stuck with doing the Sheamus Cesaro stuff.
Well, and you know what's funny about this Hardys thing? You know Matt can blame Jeff for this because he couldn't pin Sheamus in time, so that's the
right.
Open.
Exactly.
You can have the spot monkey crap, you can do the angle there, but clearly I don't know. At this point, I'm on the verge of just giving up on getting a broken gimmick because it's like they're preventing in every way from doing anything.
Right, and like I said, Matt thinks that it's close. But then if you talk to people with an Impact, they think, oh, no, it's not close at all because, you know, Matt's not agreeing to what we're asking for and this and that. And then Matt thinks that it's close. You know, it's so confusing because each side thinks something different. So it's more of a just sit and wait and why report about it because it's, you know.
Right, Bob. The Insider reported the other day that nothing's close.
Well, that's the thing because if you talk to Impact side, they're saying nothing's close. if you talk to Matt Hardy's camp, he says that, you know, people that are on Matt's side say, oh, yeah, it is close. So each side's saying something different.
And I want to touch on this. Is there something brewing with Dixie Carter in WWE?
I don't think so. I think it was just the fact of they really wanted to go all out for this Kurt Angle documentary, and because her and Kurt actually ended up having a really good friendship based off of them working together in TNA, that's why they brought her in. I don't think there's anything coming of Dixie going to work for WWE.
Okay, because I'm hoping that her as an on-screen character is just terrible.
No, I honestly don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, I think it was just because her and Kurt really did like grow a friendship when they were working together.
Right, and if we're getting any sort of an Angle match at SummerSlam, it should be made clear tomorrow, because it'd be the perfect time to bring back Stephanie McMahon because of all the chaos, right?
True. Or the following week where Kurt just can't, because you can have no Stephanie tomorrow, Kurt try to sort everything out on his own, and then we find out, oh, well, Kurt can't make the decisions correctly. Kurt can't keep the chaos down, so Stephanie's going to come back and this and that. So that could be the thing where not tomorrow, but the next week, because Kurt just can't control everything. That's the word I was looking for. Control it.
Right, and there's something I get the sneaking suspicion when these next few weeks on Raw, Angle's getting a pedigree, bro.
Maybe.
Something's telling me this is brewing. And
but the weird thing is everyone's saying that it's going to be for quote unquote control of Raw.
Makes no sense.
But it makes no sense because technically the GM Kurt works for the commissioner Stephanie, so Stephanie's already Kurt's boss anyway. She can always storyline fire him whenever she wants.
Right, and maybe Vince would then have to be in Kurt Angle's corner then.
I mean, yeah. I don't see Vince being in an Angle, but I get where you're going from there, though. Like, Vince is all, well, I'm back Kurt, I support Kurt, and this and that. So then
especially with WWE 24, where they're showing how close they are now.
Right.
Makes perfect sense, but man, I'm still hoping that like this Angle gets a huge match, and man, I still don't know where this Angle with the text messaging is going. I want to see Corey Graves become like a more on-screen character.
Oh yeah, he
maybe
should be.
Big cast, you know?
Maybe, but I know Kurt did an interview, I want to say last week, and he said he has not done a physical as far as for actually wrestling.
And then, but as far as that, the Hardys said they were staying in Ring of Honor.
He could be saying that to swerve people, of course.
I mean, look what the Hardys did.
Right. Yeah, the week before Mania, Jeff said it could be months.
Well, he said he's signed to a Ring of Honor until like September, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, what's with the concert thing? Well, what is he doing after Raw one week?
Pardon?
Like a concert in Nashville or something?
Who, Jeff Hardy?
Yeah, his band or something?
Oh, I don't know. I actually haven't heard that.
Could that indicate maybe a singles thing coming up? I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Because if that's the case and he has new music and all that they could be splitting, bro.
Maybe.
I don't know, but you know, it is what it is. And this whole Balor thing, man, is this dude ever going to get his rematch?
I have no clue. I mean, if Roman gets the title, then you got to do babyface versus babyface, and that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, and Joe's probably going after Roman right after that.
Right, because you can do the fact of Joe's beat Roman twice, Roman's never beat Joe.
Absolutely. And WrestleMania next year, the one thing that I'm hoping, I really want to see the broken gimmick, because I want Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. That thing would be totally, and you can have the foam stuff at the compound and have Wyatt show up there.
Would be cool. That would be very cool.
Well, we'll see what happens. We got Raw tomorrow. Hopefully another shows up on that show. Yeah. So I'm also hoping that Samoa Joe gets a rematch, man, because I don't think the match went long enough today, you know?
Right. I mean, I don't see him getting a rematch against Brock, but maybe he'll challenge Roman in a couple months or so.
Yeah. So you have a good one, bro.
You too. Have a great night. Thanks for the call.
All right, man. You too.
All right. Let's check out the chat. The phone lines are dying down a little. If you do want to call in, the phone number is on the screen, 559-475-8473. Robert Cathy says, talk about Evolution. Tim will talk to you all night about that. Hey, I did like Evolution back in the day. I was a big fan of them growing up. Robert Cathy says, stream is lagging. I don't know. I do see that it is, nothing really I can do to fix that unless I cut the stream and then come back. We'll be okay. I changed my... They came and did some work on the internet over the week, so that could be the issue. It still needs to be fixed. I apologize for all that. Let's see. Yeah, some of you are saying stream is a little laggy. But, all right, let's take this caller right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going? What do you think of Great Balls of Fire?
I personally think it was pretty good. I liked it better than Money in the Bank, to be honest.
Both shows were all right. I can see where you can like it a little better.
Yeah, I think Great Balls of Fire was more entertaining. Right. That's where I was more into it than Money in the Bank.
I can see that, because at Money in the Bank, the only match that really was interesting was the Money in the Bank men's match.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep,
I
exactly.
get where you're coming from then.
Yeah. I definitely think the Strowman Reigns match was way better than it should have been. Like I'm so glad Strowman won.
Right, even though Roman kind of screwed himself up with that.
Exactly. I want to know, just like the way they're booking him, very interesting stuff.
Roman or Braun?
Oh, Roman.
Yeah,
Roman.
Right. Well, they're trying to build Roman up as a challenger for the championship.
Yes, which that I'm not all for. I mean, I'm not a hater of Roman Reigns. I definitely think he can put on a good match, but I don't think he should be shoved down our throat.
No, I understand that. Like I get what you're saying. Roman's better than he gets the credit for, but they just push him a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
I get
and
exactly
I think
where you're coming from there.
Yeah, and I think the Joe Lesnar match, it felt, I don't know, kind of cut short. You know,
I felt that
it felt
too,
like
because it
could have gone way longer.
Right, and it actually went 5 or 6 minutes past the top of the hour, and usually if you look at it, like what was it, Backlash ended like 10 minutes before the hour was even up. Like they've been doing that a lot too. So when there was only 10 minutes left in the hour and Brock was barely coming out, I was just hoping the match didn't go like 3-4 minutes.
Oh yeah. At least it wasn't a squash match, you know?
Yeah, Joe did look amazing. Like he came off as like top 3, top 4 guy in the entire company tonight.
Yeah, I know the booking about him with this whole rivalry, it's fantastic. Like seeing him going after the Beast, it's great. And then I didn't actually hear that the Cass Enzo match was on the kickoff. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they had said something about it. WWE tweeted something about it late yesterday, like yesterday afternoon or last night. And then today they just didn't say anything, and it wasn't on the pre-show. And then when the Cruiserweight title match started and there was like 20 minutes left, we just assumed, hey, they moved it back to the... So I think it was a timing thing. They thought there wasn't enough time, so they were going to move it. And then when they timed everything out, like finalized everything, they realized there was time for it. I think that's all it was.
Yeah, and I think it would be silly to put that match on the pre-show because it was like one of the selling points of the pay-per-view, you know?
Exactly, because if you think about it, 2 weeks ago it was the main thing. It was the thing that ended Raw, and then last week it was the first thing. And when you watch Raw, the first segment and the last segment are always the most important things. So putting it on the pre-show would have just been like, well, we built it up big for nothing.
Exactly, yeah. Like putting it on the pre basically just kill all of its momentum.
Right. Even though I don't know where you go from here, unless you do, like I said earlier, you add Big Show in there.
Yeah, I know. Like, Enzo put up a little bit of a fight, but ultimately he just got destroyed.
Right, because if you try to do this match again at SummerSlam, it's going to be the same thing.
Oh, yeah. And, someone earlier said put Enzo on 205 Live, and, like, I don't know if I'm for that or against that, because, like what we saw with Austin Aries, like, I mean, Enzo could bring a lot to the table for 205 Live, but because he has a big audience.
Exactly. He's somebody that the fans like to see. So you say, hey, Enzo's on 205 Live, the crowd may, for the first month or so, watch the show just to see what Enzo does. But I think, like, after a month, if he's not really doing anything productive, they're not going to care anymore. And with Enzo not being that great of a wrestler, honestly, like, there's not much you can do with him there. The interest will die down quickly. It's kind of a seesaw situation. You don't know which way it could go. Right.
Yeah. I just, 205 Live, they completely butchered it in my eyes. Could have been so good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just hoping Austin Aries does well.
I honestly don't know where he can go, because I know, I think it was 2015, he had talked about retiring, so, and then he ended up...
Yeah, I mean, he's just about 40, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I mean, look at AJ Styles. He's just about 40, and he's on top of the world right now in WWE, so really anything could happen. I don't think Aries would go back to Ring of Honor, though.
I mean, he could if they offer him a good enough deal.
I know, because I read today that he left on very, very bad terms.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so maybe Impact or what GFW, whatever they're calling it now.
He could.
Yep.
Because I know when he left there, he was unhappy, and I mean everybody was unhappy at that time when Dixie was
exactly.
Running. So maybe Jeff Jarrett can be like, hey, this guy just came from WWE. Let's bring him in.
Yep. So I have two final questions for you.
All right.
Do you think they will bring in Dixie Carter for like an on-air role, like a GM or something on WWE?
I don't think so, because there's so much negative. There's like a negative stigma about her. Fans just do not like her. I think really all it is because her and Kurt did build a great friendship when they worked together in TNA. And I think that's just why they used her for the documentary.
Yes, that makes sense. And for my last question, who do you see taking the Cruiserweight title off of Neville? Because, frankly, I thought Tozawa was going to do it tonight. He had a phenomenal showing.
I mean, they can always
do
Aries
couldn't do it. I don't know.
Right. They can always do Tozawa again at SummerSlam and him get the title then. Because if you saw, Tozawa went to Titus and said, you represent me. I want a rematch.